Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Camera Tuesday, we're going to talk about Sony Venice extension system. So let's dive deep into it. So what exactly is this extension system? Well, the reality is camera bodies of a cinema grade camera, it's ludicrously huge. Like it's huge, and it's not like, oh, it's from 1990. No, it's right now. It's huge. So question becomes why it is so huge, even though you can have the exact same silicon that is utilized in, let's say, a mirrorless camera like Sony FX3 and in this puppy. Exact same silicon made by exact same semiconductor company, Sony Semiconductors. So why? Well, there are two core things that make this puppy huge, and same goes with red, same goes with RE. Well, those two things are cooling and huge data pipeline. So a cinema camera is different from basically a normal point and shoot camera simply because it tries to capture as much data as possible from the sensor. All sensor, even your mobile phone camera sensor, they're huge, they're awesome, they're GG. So they can store almost like when they convert your photons into digital signal, they convert it generally in 16-bit linear data stream. So that data stream is huge. So what do? We throw majority of data away, convert it down to 8-bit, and then store your video file. If you're lucky, we can do that to 10-bit nowadays. But cinema camera, they generally try to be as close to that 16-bit linear as possible. So either they could store directly that 16-bit, or sometimes they will convert it into log. So it's a 12-bit log or sometimes 13-bit log that can be utilized. So you can understand that data pipeline is huge, freakishly huge. Penalty of that is not only the data codex systems, basically data storage becomes huge, then required circuitry to manage that kind of throughput also becomes huge. Penalty, now the thermal requirement becomes bonkersly huge. So you need huge cooling. Like if you take a red camera, like a red weapon or red dragon, and you're like, okay, this is huge body. No, nothing. It's like the circuits are tiny. It's just to open it up, it's just heat sinks. You're like, oh, RE, this is a big bollocks. Nothing. It's just a cooling unit. Same goes with everything. So either it's cooling or it's huge data pipeline. Generally, both of them forces this puppy to be huge, and battery not included so far. So there are certain shooting scenarios where you need compact size and weight. Both of them, not only just like compact is made out of uranium, it has to be compact and light in certain scenarios. Basically, gimbals do not like huge cameras with heavy lenses. So they do not like it. But again, they do their job awesomely. So people want to use it. So what the hell you to do? And again, point of view shooting requires a very light rig, so to say. And there are very taxing scenarios if you directly try to do with this. Is it impossible? No. Is it easy to do? Hell no. So it's a very taxing. So there are many scenarios where people wanted a solution to get the data quality of a cinema camera without the bulk of a cinema camera. So that's why Sony did that. Now be mindful, this sort of system are pseudo created by multiple places, multiple times, but never as a product like, go pay money, buy for civilian applications. So we come to this puppy, CBX3621XS. Do not ask me, Sony made this. And this is Rialto Monk 2. So the first system they made for public, it was huge, but it did work. Again, this, given what it was like, shut up, take money for many cinemas. It was like, oh, you have this. I do not care whether it works or not. It's just a Mark 1 product. Just take money, give me the thing. We are not having conversation. Just take money, give me thing. So that happened. That was Mark 1, and they are making Mark 2. Tiny puppy. Oh, and it does have cooling. So the tiny puppy they made. So this is tiny sensor block. So what are they offering? Well, the sensor block is 8.6K CMOS sensors. Basically, you do not have to worry about it. Basically, this won't be your limiting system. And how the heck they managed to make sure that this is so small compared to the last generation? Well, this had ND filter, like that rotation system or sliding system. They're like, nope. They noped the ND filter. But again, cinema requires ND. You are not gonna do cinema without ND. So they're like, okay, we're gonna give you ND, but it will be slide on NDs. Meaning instead of computerized system or electronic variable systems, you have to slide it in. Basically, hey, I need 0.6 ND, you put 0.6 ND, whatever have you. So it has that. That's the penalty, but benefit is tiny. Now, is there a tangible benefit of this? Yes, you can do 3D directly. So there are genuine benefit of having something tiny. And 8.6K CMOS, more than good enough. And again, it's the exact same sensor that is used in the main flagship Venice. So, and again, you have to use that flagship body also with it. So if you want two of them, it's not like two of them going into one camera body. Each of them requires one camera body. So there, NDF system. And Another aspect is it has gyro sensor. You have to understand most cameras have gyro data. That gyro data is utilized by VFX studios or some other post-processing algorithm that helps it out. But here's the deal. How the heck you gonna have VFX use that data if the body is somewhere else? Well, they put the sensor in this. They understood that problem and they're like, we got you, fam. They have sensor data in this itself. So if this is on a rig moving around, the data would be stored. So that's not an issue. And it also has aux power rail, meaning many times we have PL lens mounts. Those do not have autofocus. They have follow focus. Nowadays, follow focuses are electronic, meaning some person is looking in a giant monitor and follow focusing like this. That requires a lot of electrical power. This has enough power rails coming from the camera body to this head that it can literally leech off power from that point and give your lens accessories power, and even small monitors also. So power rail has been taken care of, gyro data is there, and power rail has been taken care of. Now, how far away you can be, like we keep these two part apart. 4.5 meter is the basically starting, the cheapest one, and if you pay money, you can go up to 12 meters long. That's long. That's like long. So if you have tiny lenses, you can make some amazingly dense stuff with this puppy on a cinema grade, which was unheard of. So some significant thing has been made, and again you can see the size going from this to tiny things. It's like a lot more people would be interested now. So are there any use cases where it's like it's not just a gimmick, it's actually useful? Well, yes, point of view cameras. You must have seen a lot of TV shows specifically they are doing where like a camera is mounted in chin kind of area and you are like looking from that point of view. Now, why don't they put it here? Well, the person starts to freak out. If you have like this, you will freak out what the hell is happening. So they generally have to make sure that you can see through. So that's why they are using that. And at that point in time, you can't, I mean, like technically you can use GoPro, but like people will know. If you're going from this to GoPro, people will like, no, bro. And like, no, iPhone 15, no. Again, I keep telling you, the sensor is awesome. It's the data compression that we go through, even in a ProRes from Apple point of view, is, again, that's why you need this much electronics. So they're like, okay, we put it in your backpack, you're cool, your body can take care of the weight, and on your chin, basically on your neck muscle, we have this tiny system, comparatively speaking. So this system, and again, it will try to be as close to your eye line, so the look and feel of it would be as close to natural as we can get, while maintaining all the criteria. Back in the days, if you watch like some old porn, they actually had to have camera like this and actors were acting like this. I'm not even joking. They actually did that. Now they're like compact camera. So point of view camera setups do need this, and 3D. Now, James Cameron literally could not have done that much underwater shooting without this sort of extension system. Because again, if you have extension, this is a small thing, a lens. You put that into a water case, tight enclosure, done, go home. Everything outside is outside. You do not have to worry about that. So it was a very, like, you know, shut up, take money deal for them. And again, why the heck James Cameron is the only one who figures out 3D is because he understands the pupil angle, so to say. So most companies are like, oh, that is far, we're going to move it like this. Oh, it's close, we're going to do like this. Okay, that's half. That's half of your eyes does. Primary thing your eyes does, if you look from a scan from top down, it goes like this. So basically things that are close, it will look like this. Things that are far, it will look up. That angle requires a lot of engineering, like physically building that engineering is brutally difficult. And again, it's a miracle they managed to do it in Avatar 1. In Avatar 2, they're like, yeah, we are not throwing that much temper tantrum. Just put the cameras like that. And again, there was a person behind James Cameron running with those two puppies. Like he was like, I'm the puppy carriers. So this was the system. The electronics became lighter. The camera rig became lighter. Second person needed was, but again, he could afford a second person. So that was a shut up, take money deal. Then you have VFX. Again, there are certain scenarios in VFX. If you can have a small camera, have a goddamn small camera. So, tada. 360. Again, 360, you're like, can't we just put like giant cameras? The bigger the distance between your virtual center and the lens centers, the difficult it becomes. Like you ideally want everything like lens pointing to the one point in virtual space. That's very difficult to do. So ideally, you want to reduce it as basically try to make it as compact as possible. Trust me, it does help. So this can do that, 360, all that, it can do awesome things. And in tight places, like if you want to shoot inside a car, it's very difficult. This small body is like, I got you. It can take care of that. And if you want to put anything outside of the camera, for example, jet. If you have a jet, even there are filming jets, they have a rig that goes outside of the camera body. Fuselage, so to say, but they do they have always a chicken and egg scenario. It's like if you make it very huge, very big, robust, it becomes too expensive, nobody will rent it, and it will slow down the jet too much. So they want to make it as light as possible. But here's the cinema lenses are heavy, so it's like there is always chicken and egg. This camera is like, What if you only do 2 kilograms? Now 2 kilograms for point and shoot is more than good enough. Mirrorless is good enough for a cinema. No, no. They're like, what if you put everything inside the fuselage, and the outside, the gimbal that is exposed to the air, that's as small as possible, but it's 2 kilogram plus the sensor block. Sensor block is nothing, so lens would be a little bit lighter. Done, go home. Done, go home. So for those sort of things, be it helicopter, be it jet, where you want your gimbal to be as light, as small footprint as possible, shut up, take money. Shut up, take money. So there is a genuine use case scenarios for this. It's not just like lol, like it's a flexing thing. No, there are certain shoot case where it's like you have to do this. Like or you go back to using GoPros or Canon 5D, like Iron Man 2 F1, when they had crashing scene, they could not figure out what to do. They just crashed a Canon 5D DSLR. Canon 5D, they actually crashed it. That was their GoPro alternative back in those days. So this is the use case of it. Now question becomes, for whom this is? Well, most likely it's great for rental houses. Basically, if you are in Hollywood or Bollywood and you're like, hey, I deal with a lot of Sony equipment, because again, they are quite popular. So they're like, hey, I will just invest into the system. People have bought this, and I'll ping them. It's like, hey, if you need something small and tiny, we got you, fam. We got you. So for them, it's like, shut up, take money. And most of the time, you don't need this. Let that be very clear. If your use case ask for it, the end. But if it does not, you don't have to have it. It's not like I must have it. Or you adapt to it, meaning if you are going from like a person over the shoulder to like a gimbal scenario, you have to go through this. Then it's a different conversation. At that point in time, you need it. You may even like pay money to buy it directly. So, but most of them do not need it. Most of them, it will make sense to rent it unless your project requires it. For example, tada, putting it on an actual fighter jet. I'm not even figuring like how, like this is flexing. Like this is flexing. Like so many countries have fighter jets. Ask any of them like, hey, can you allow us to put a freaking cinema camera on your fighter jet? Not a photographic fighter jet, active fighter, training fighter jet, like that actually flies. Again, not supersonic. It has to so much drag, it could not go supersonic, but more than enough. Like from plane point of view, more than fast enough. And again, you could not have put 4 cameras there. And again, this one would literally hit the canopy. If they had any, even a tiny red bodies, it will hit. So flat out, there are certain cinemas where they're like, Avatar would not have happened, F1 movie would not happen. This Top Gun is the best example I have seen. There is no discussion about it. Like this is flexing. Like this is America's flexing. It's like, yeah, we make movies with actual fighter jet, bitch. So that's a different level of thing. And someday I hope my country can flex this hard. But given the fact even France does not do it, it's very difficult. So this is for whom it is. So if you need it, buy it. If you don't, it's a rent it. So this was my presentation on basically this extension Sony system. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free, and as always, thanks for watching.